Jalen Brunson just slammed all of the critics talking about the way that he plays basketball, as despite his phenomenal playoffs, he's getting a lot of hate, and this is crazy, as we also have a huge update on Jalen Brunson's ankle that really scared Knicks fans in that game 4, and we're going to break all of this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. And if you guys are part of that 64% that's not subscribed to Knicks Digest, make sure to subscribe. This is the best place to be for all New York Knicks content. We got videos every single day. You do not want to miss out, and the Knicks, they're about to go to the second round, so jump on the bandwagon right now. But let's jump into the video. A lot to talk about, because this man right here, one of the great playoff performers of this generation, arguably a top 10 playoff performer of the last 10, 15 years, arguably a top 5 player in the NBA in the playoffs. Jalen Brunson has been nothing short of phenomenal for the Knicks in the playoffs. Playoff Brunson is a real thing. He's more of a real thing than most playoff insert name here guys that you could think of. The clutch player of the year, all-star starter, one of the best players in basketball, and one of the most dominant scoring threats the game has seen out of a point guard in 25 years, has absolutely slammed critics, because as we know, we've seen the era of the sad boy Pistons and their fans be really, really upset that Jalen Brunson is getting to the free throw line. Now, people are calling it flopping, and I like to call it the fact that Brunson gets fouled basically every time he attacks the hoop, so at some point he's going to have to sell the calls a bit. And also, as I've mentioned, like every other player in the NBA, Jalen Brunson does try to sell foul calls when he gets fouled. He's just better at it than other people, and you can't blame someone for that. It's not his fault that he's playing by the NBA rules. I had the same issue with Trae Young when the New York Knicks played the Atlanta Hawks in the first round. Trae Young was really good at selling fouls. It was annoying to me, and my argument was if it's going to be called, the Knicks have to find a way to do it back. And also, what they should do is foul hard enough that Trae Young's not going to be getting end ones. Something that teams have been doing against Jalen Brunson. I'm not hating on that. Brunson's getting fouled very hard. He's getting knocked to the ground, and that's because if you're going to get foul calls on you anyway, you should be physical. And Pistons fans have been really upset about it, saying how their team's the reincarnation of the bad boys, and as I said, they're not. They're the sad boys, and that is what it is. I mean, Pistons fans are upset because they thought they were finally going to get a playoff win at home, and that's not happening, and they're not going to go back home for a while. There's not going to be a home Pistons game till October, so is what it is for them. And the New York Knicks, they're in prime position to enter into the second round, and Jalen Brunson has called out critics for all of this. Now, Brunson was asked about how it feels and all the nonsense around that he's flopping and everything, and he said it's part of the game. When you have guys who are 6'7", 6'8", freak athletes, long arms, all that, they're going to use that to their advantage. My advantage, I feel like it's my strength. It's the way I'm able to use my footwork and play off balance and just find different angles to attack. I don't know how else to say it, but I like the way how I'm able to use my body to get off defenders and find ways to adapt. And Brunson's right. What's he supposed to do? Look, Jalen Brunson, he might not be the biggest guy. He might not be the strongest guy. He might not be the fastest guy. He's got elite footwork, and he's one of the smartest players in the game, and he uses that to his advantage. Jalen Brunson's biggest weapon is the fact that outside of the fact that he's remarkably skilled and one of the most skilled players in basketball, he's not a freak athlete. However, he is a cerebral monster. The man is one of the smartest players in the game, and he's been able to manipulate how people play defense on him because he's able to draw guys in and get foul calls, and that's part of basketball because every other NBA player tries to do that as well. If other NBA players are getting contact, they're going to try to sell the calls. If Jalen Brunson goes at someone, he's usually not going to be stronger than them. So what is he going to do? He's going to use the fact that he's getting bumped to his advantage, the way that every other NBA player, for instance, I'm a big LeBron fan. However, LeBron, stronger than most people in the NBA. The man gets contact. He draws the fouls. It's the same thing. You don't think that guys like Anthony Davis, look at Joel Embiid. The man's 300 pounds and 7'2". Guess what? When he takes contact, he tries to sell the contact too. It's just part of the game. You got people who are point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, centers. Everyone's doing it. If Joel Embiid, someone who's an absolute offensive monster and stronger than basically everyone in basketball, is going to sell foul calls, then why can't Jalen Brunson? And guess what? Since Brunson's smaller, it's going going to look like the contact is affecting him more? Because it is. And yes, he's selling the contact the same way that Joel Embiid is, the same way that LeBron is, the same way that literally everyone you can name who plays basketball in the NBA is doing. I've seen Anthony Davis do it. We've seen Jokic do it. We've seen everybody do this. Brunson gets the hate for it because he's hitting the ground, because teams are playing physical with him, knowing that he's going to draw the fouls anyway, so they're playing hardcore basketball. They're making him earn those fouls. And teams are right to do that. So I'm not upset that teams are doing that, but that is what's happening. And Jalen Brunson, people are upset about it because he's been the best scorer in playoff basketball. I mean, the man's been absolutely phenomenal. Now, Udonis Haslem was going out there saying the ankle's not going to hold up. Well, yes, it has. And we do have an ankle injury update that we're going to talk about in a moment. But you look at Jalen Brunson in the playoffs, the man has been downright absurd. 33.3 points per game, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, getting 1 offensive rebound per game as well. The man's been unreal, shooting 46% from the field. He has been great. Look, at the end of the day, what's going on is people do not like Jalen Brunson because he's on the Knicks. People usually are rooting against the Knicks because they find Knicks fans to be obnoxious, because after the single time the Knicks will win a playoff game, we'll act like we just won the NBA Finals. Well, guess what? We're not going to sit here and act like this isn't true. We have one of the worst histories since 2000. Since the Knicks made the Finals in 1999, there has not been a lot to cheer for as Knicks fans. What are we going to do about that? We're going to enjoy the fact that we have a good team. We're going to have fun. And also now, ever since Side Talk really took off, shout out Jack Byrne, sat next to him in history class in freshman year. Nice guy. He was a big part of Side Talk coming up, was the owner. I think sold his shares, but it's none of my business. Hope Jack's doing well. Good guy. But since Side Talk blew up, Knicks fans, like the guy who did the thing, he's become famous among Knicks fans. Other Knicks fans want that too. You think I don't? The YouTube channel with 13,000 subscribers, of course I'm going to try to do the same thing. All of us are, because we want Knicks fans to know who we are. We want to get the dap-ups and all that. So because of that, Knicks fans are now, it's ingrained in us to go nuts when we win a playoff game, because it's beneficial for us. And it's also fun. We're having fun out there. And Jalen Brunson is using all of this to his advantage. He's using the fact that people don't like the Knicks. He's using the fact that people don't like that he draws fouls. He's taking the contact. He's throwing the shots up. He's selling the contact like every other NBA player. And it's working really, really well for him. Now, Brunson in Game 4 had 32 points with 15 in the fourth quarter. He also had 11 assists and 5 rebounds. In that fourth quarter, he didn't shoot 1 free throw. He actually only shot 2 free throws for the game, in fact. And Jalen Brunson, who's dealt with the ankle problems, including in Game 4 when he hurt his ankle, this is one of the greatest tweets I've ever seen in Knicks history. Jalen Brunson, every time he goes back to the locker room, it's like he just gets a new ankle. It's very, very funny. You gotta love it. But as mentioned by crazy stats, Jalen Brunson's career scoring average increases from the regular season to the postseason at plus 6.3, which is the largest in NBA history. The man is that good. People aren't upset that he's getting foul calls. They're upset that he's this good and that he's also doing that. But look, yeah, he's getting a ton of foul calls. He shot a full 2 free throws when he played 39 minutes. Wow. I mean, how dare he? Unethical basketball. 2 of his 32 points. Only 30 points without free throws. How dare he? The nerve of Jalen Brunson. The nerve. The refs are just so biased towards him. What are we going to do? However, where things stand right now, we all collectively had a panic attack when Jalen Brunson went down, hurting his ankle in Game 4. I don't want this to be taken the wrong way. He got tangled up with Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder did not do it on purpose. Very evidently clear he didn't. I'm not going to be one of those fans who's claiming, well, they injured him because incidental contact in a contact sport. Nope. Jalen Brunson and Dennis Schroeder got tangled up. Brunson hurt his ankle, is what it is. He's obviously not at 100% on that ankle. He's not going to be at 100%. He went down with that ankle sprain. It is something that takes a while to recover from because the ligaments got to build back up their strength. And there's physical therapy and just workouts that you got to do for that. That's not going to be a month long. I mean, if he missed a month of injury with that ankle injury, it's going to take a few months for that ankle to fully regain that strength back. So it's not something you got to be upset about or freak out about, but he's just not going to be at that ankle at 100%. And Brunson's also susceptible to rolling his ankles. This is not the first time. However, we got a huge injury update on Jalen Brunson, as it was revealed by Tommy Beer that Jalen Brunson is not listed on the injury report for Game 5. Remarkably, Brunson's ankle is apparently just fine and good to go. So is Jalen Brunson's ankle 100%? Absolutely not. No one's going to sit here and act like it is because it's not. His ankle's clearly going to be sore, but you don't have to put a sore ankle on the injury report if you don't want to. And by that, I mean the Knicks never do that stuff. I mean, we've seen how the Knicks act with injuries. When Julius Randle dislocated his shoulder for 2.5 months, they're saying, yeah, he's working his way back. He should be back soon. Yeah, he's getting back. He's doing some stuff in the weight room. He's looking good, looking strong, looking like he'll be a huge impact player for us in the playoffs. Yeah, he's working really hard. It sounds like he'll be back in maybe a month or so, maybe a little bit less. He'll be back, though. Yeah, he's out for the season. He's going to have to get shoulder surgery. Yeah, he'll be back next season, though. His shoulder will be fine by the beginning of the regular season. It'll be great. Yeah, he's on the Minnesota Timberwolves now. And also, real quick, major shout out to Julius Randle for balling out in the playoffs. Go cook, Julius. I'll be honest. As I said earlier, I do like LeBron, so I wasn't necessarily rooting against the Timberwolves, but I was rooting for a competitive series. I'm loving that Julius Randle's doing this to the Lakers, man. I'm so happy for Julius, man. He's finally showing that he is a fine playoff performer, just not when he's getting swarmed because he's the only offensive talent on the team or is a mangled ankle in need of surgery. Shout out Julius Randle. Julius, keep cooking. Keep making New York proud. We are all rooting for Julius Randle. If you're a New York Knicks fan, you're rooting for Julius and Dante in that Minnesota Timberwolves team. Go and finish that series off and go and just please beat the Oklahoma City Thunder. I want to see Julius Randle and Dante have their success. I know there's the argument of, well, if the Timberwolves don't succeed, we could maybe get Dante back. We're not getting Dante back for a few years at best, so let's not pretend like it's going to happen this offseason unless they trade Julius and Dante for Kevin Durant to the Suns, and I think the Rockets are going to trade for Kevin Durant, so it's probably not going to happen, but if it does, then maybe you can negotiate with the Suns to try to trade them something that would fit better on their team, something like that. But it's a long shot, obviously. So Julius and Dante have to continue cooking the same way that Jalen Brunson has been absolutely on fire for the New York Knicks. I mean, everything that he's done, he deserves. These critics deserve to be hated on. They deserve Jalen Brunson's response for him saying, it's part of the game. I'm working to my strengths. What do you want me to do? Be like, oh, well, the fans don't want me to do this. Guess I won't. It's professional basketball. He's trying to win, and he's playing by the rules. Sorry you're not happy about it. This has been going on forever, and I know he's not the first person to get hate for this, but it is wild. But then again, sad boy Pistons. What are you going to do? Knicks are going to close out the series. Knicks in 5, baby. I said it earlier on. I stand by it. Like this video. Subscribe, turn on post notifications. Have a great day, and go Knicks.